foremost, we're going to be talking about product strategy and innovation and all the excitement that comes with that. So I'm going to start with our first favorite slide of the day around our forward-looking statement. So we are going to be sharing future-looking functionality. You'll see a live demo as well, but please make all of those purchasing decisions based on what's currently available in the product. All right, now let's get to the fun stuff. So, as we talk, with our customers and so many of you as marketers, talking about end-to-end, personalized, omni-channel experiences, right? It's easier said than it is done. And when you consider some of those challenges that, marketing, experience, even IT leaders are facing today, it's really hard, and that is charged with being able to deliver on kind of these three pillars is what we've bubbled them down into. One, we know that consumers are more empowered than ever. They have more choice than ever before. They can look up a different product, a different price. They can look for a different quality or different experience that they want to have. And in fact, PwC has found that nearly a third of consumers have left a brand after just one bad experience. This means that brands have to meet consumers where they are, and they have to be able to engage with them so that those consumers stay loyal. Second, consumers also expect that brands are respecting and protecting their data. And when they're using it in a way that really puts privacy at the forefront when they're delivering all of those personalized experiences, whether that's online or offline. And third, we look at this from a business perspective as well. Brands have expectations that they have to maximize every single investment. And Sarah talked about this earlier, right? Being able to show and deliver on those business results is more critical than ever. With this combination of the economic headwinds and the growing complexity of the technology sector that's really surrounding all of the customer engagement priorities and solutions, brands have to see quick time to value. And they have to be able to do that as they're being asked to deliver more with less, whether that's from a budget perspective or even resources. Now, while all of this seems that marketers often contend with the notion that meeting both customer expectations while also satisfying those business outcomes are really conflicting endeavors and that they're always at odds, well, we found that that's not always the case, particularly when it comes to an omni-channel customer engagement strategy. In fact, we worked with Forrester Consulting and we commissioned this research around which companies were using omni-channel strategies that really effectively deepened those customer relationships and ultimately drove business growth. And the research was really interesting, and it found that customer-obsessed firms that were really focused on that omni-channel strategy, 62% were seeing higher margins, and more than half were seeing more interactions with their customers, stronger retention, and even more loyalty to their business. Now, we know while it seems, with all of the customer expectations and business expectations in mind, it really puts this great importance on executing with the right customer engagement solution that marketers need that are really going to help them deliver those outcomes, from driving revenue to cost reduction to customer loyalty and retention. They need a solution that really fulfills on these kind of four pillars. One is really around providing that industry-specific capability and features that are truly purpose-built for the marketer. They need a solution that's going to make it easy to connect the data and the channels so that marketers can really effectively personalize all of those different touch points along the way. Third, it's really about providing a complete understanding of all of the consumer behavior, really giving that actionable insight to make you more smart and making those quick decisions that are really going to drive profit for the business. And last but certainly not least, marketers need solutions that are going to grow and scale with your business. And that is from kind of looking at the underlying infrastructure to even the overall investment in innovation in the entire ecosystem of composable technology solutions that you have in your tech stack. And that is truly where our mission comes in at Emarsys, that we are truly focused on empowering the marketer and putting the marketer at the center of everything we do, because we know that the marketer, right, going back to kind of both sides of the coin, even with our theme around the art and science of marketing, it's consumer and business expectation. And the marketer sits in the center of that. And we need to truly empower all of you to be able to answer to both sides of that equation. But it's not just at the center of the product where we want to empower our customers to be truly omni-channel. It extends to every part of our business and even through our entire product strategy and the vision that we're going to share with you today. This means that whenever you're onboarding the solution, that you find the product is easy to use, or when you're engaging with our services teams, that you're having a really great experience. This also means that we aren't just adding value to your business, but we're being productive and we're deriving the value that you need. We want to also take the burden off of marketing and legal teams by making that privacy first personalization super easy. And we also want to make sure that whether we're interacting with our service team, our support, or right there in the product, that our customers' goals, that your goals are really at the forefront of everything that we're doing. And that we're going to actively work with you to achieve those different goals that you have that are specific to your business. And finally, when we talk about power to the marketer, not only do we want to be the platform that you can trust, we also want to be the people behind the technology that you can trust on your path with Emarsys. Now, to do that, this is kind of how we talk about really kind of opening up the power of omni-channel for marketers. That means, that we have to make it easy for all brands to connect other different marketing leading providers into our platform. And we're going to continue to focus that effort and make sure that we're building all of those core Emarsys services. That means making automations easy to stand up and change. That means making content really easy to put in different channels, making personalization and super advanced, but also accessible across any channel that you need to tap into for your business. And truly providing all of the marketers all the analytics and the measurements that are going to drive the revenue and the right ROI for your business. But then as we think about how we start to become the most omni-channel platform in the market that makes it easy for marketers around channels and around personalization, we're going to start by looking at those native channels. And we're going to continue to develop those native channels within our platform. You're going to see some of those today as Sarah teased a little bit of talking about some new channels that we have coming from mobile. And then we're also going to look at all of those SAP channels as well. Those are going to be our native channels to marketers as well, and making that easy to use to tap into commerce and sales and CDP. Now, you're going to also see on our roadmap, as Anthony talks about in a little bit later, all those different channels that marketers can personalize and engage. But on the other hand, the market is moving fast. And we need to be able to tap into all of those amazing partners and different technologies that are developing other channels or other solutions that are going to make your job easier. And that may be they're first to the market in a particular channel, or they're doing things that we may not do first. So we want to empower all of those marketing teams, even some of the smaller marketing teams that don't have IT support, to be able to create these clickable connectors. We want to make it so that you're logging into Emarsys and it's super easy to onboard a new channel. So you can quickly bring in Mention Me referral data, or easily send LinkedIn ads if you're B2B, or even engage on TikTok if you're more B2C. You're going to hear from several of these technology partners over the next couple of days. They're going to talk about use cases, some of the customers that are leveraging, and in new ways you can use the technology across the entire platform. And finally, we also know that it's not possible to make a clickable connector for everything that you want to do and to integrate and that you want to use. So this is when the Open API really comes into play. This is going to open up the platform and really make it easy for your teams and even your IT teams to implement the solutions that you need to create those one-to-one personalized omni-channel experiences. And the beauty of all of this strategy and this vision and how we're bringing all of this to life within Emarsys is it boils down to this. Emarsys is truly purpose-built for the marketer, is being able to deliver those personalized omni-channel campaigns so that you can deliver real impact on your business. Right, where this is about connecting across the entire experience, pulling in the right channels and all the data that you need quickly and easily. So no matter where you're engaging with that customer, it's easy to do that. You can make those insightful decisions and you can truly adapt over to Anthony, and he's going to talk about some of our recent innovations that we've been delivering over the last year that have truly delivered on this vision. And then we're going to see some of this stuff in action. So with Anthony, I will pass it over to you.
Thank you, Kelsey. Well, these are all the different features that we've delivered to you in 2022, and we are not taking our foot off the gas pedal in 2023. We've been listening to what you want, we've been understanding what you need, and we're delivering with focus on strategic initiatives such as fast time to value and helping you onboard any use case, one-to-one personalization with AI, as well as helping you better understand the impact of your marketing. In 2022 and including 2023, we've delivered over 75 features. And speaking of features, there's a few I want to talk about today in terms of top requested features. Now, the first one I'd like to talk about is webhook node in automations. This powerful feature allows you to seamlessly connect to other solutions in your CX ecosystem. This opens up the automation programs and allows you to broaden your omnichannel experiences beyond Emarsys' borders so that you could pivot your execution where and when needed. Once this is configured, and these webhooks are configured to the proper endpoints, a marketer could easily drag this into their automation flow. And as a contact flows through the automation program and hits this point, it will be sent, its contact information will be sent to the respective endpoint. And this will unlock a lot of scenarios. For example, maybe connecting Emarsys to an offline channel, like a distribution center, which may need contact information for personalized gifts being sent via mail. Or connecting to another CX system in your landscape, such as a third-party loyalty system, which may need to keep track of qualified contacts and keep those synchronized across the two systems. So we're really excited to see what other scenarios you'll be able to accomplish with this webhook node. Now, another popular request has been the request of being able to use customer data from SAP Customer Data Solutions for personalization and engagement. We already do this today with our integration to SAP CDP, which covers use cases like create and update contacts or send sales orders from CDP to Emarsys to be used in Smart Insight, and even audience transfers as well as event triggers. But with our brand new SAP CDC or SAP Customer Data Cloud real-time connector, you will be able to synchronize contacts in real time. This will allow you to build loyalty and trust while honoring your customer's identity and preferences along every step of the journey. And we're really excited about this new integration. We were able to reduce this from a 10-day consulting project to just a few minutes from a power user. And once this is set up, profiles will be able to sync to Emarsys in real time and will be available for follow-up processing. Now, we made extensibility just as easy. Gone are the days where you need an IT project to add fields to several solutions in your organization. A power user could easily go into SAP CDC and create new preferences or interests, such as favorite color, and add that as a shared field in CDC, and those fields will be automatically replicated into Emarsys, including its data, so that you could use that for further processing. And we close the loop with this integration, making sure that customer opt-outs, marketing opt-outs, are also sent back to CDC to make sure consent is in sync. Now, the last top feature I wanted to talk about today is value measurement. Understanding if your marketing is having an impact to your business is always top of mind for marketers. Value measurement allows and gives your marketers the ability to assess the added value that their marketing is having, compared to contacts who might have not received certain communications during a certain time. So how are marketers going to use this? Well, they're going to drag a value measurement node into their automation program. This will randomly omit 10% of contacts, and those will be considered the control group, while the rest will flow through your program as designed and will be considered the treatment group. And once your program has finalized, you'll be able to compare the control group and the treatment group and look at things such as purchase rate, engagement rate, as well as average order value or average revenue per contact, allowing you to better assess if your marketing is having an impact. And with that, I will hand over to Kelsey for the big announcement.
Awesome. Thanks, Anthony. So we've talked a lot about kind of our messaging, our strategy, and our vision, and how we're talking about the market approach. We then talked about how we are bringing all of that to life over the last year. And now I'm excited to announce kind of a new channel that we are launching today as part of our Power to the Marketer Festival. You know, we did some research and we tried to really understand what are the channels that brands are needing? What are the channels that consumers are leveraging the most? And what we found was that nearly half of customers are no longer leveraging or using a physical wallet, right? We have our phone in the palm of our hands at all times, right? Or sitting next to our desk, wherever we may be. So I'm excited to announce today that we will be launching Google and Apple Mobile Wallet. This gives marketers the ability to really launch campaigns with those wallet passes. Think vouchers, think coupons, think your loyalty cards. You no longer have to carry that physical wallet. And now this is truly bridging that gap between the online and the offline, really creating that ability for marketers to engage on mobile with convenience and ease. And when we're talking about that, right, we think, again, we have mobile in the palm of our hands. It's really about deploying those campaigns to reach customers, you know, without needing a mobile app. To have the mobile wallet, you don't need to have a mobile app. So it really opens up another channel, giving you the ability to engage with your consumers wherever they are. It's also about using those insights from Wallet to personalize campaigns, upsell more campaigns. So knowing that customer reward status, for an example, sending relevant offers or products that truly build brand loyalty is critical when leveraging the mobile wallet. And third, I love this one, really around understanding ROI. When we look at kind of that online and offline and transitioning that, sometimes the ROI metrics can get lost. I think what's beautiful about the mobile wallet is really knowing which marketing and loyalty campaigns, both online and now we can see that kind of in-store engagement from a mobile wallet transaction, of really understanding what is driving our growth. And last, right, we talk about, you know, the real-time relevant messaging consumers expect to engage with us whenever and however they want. This gives the mobile wallet, really gives and provides that loyalty card or that coupon, really based on how they want to interact with you right there in the moment when they're engaging with your brand, whether they're walking into your store or whether they're engaging online. They have that ability to create that brand loyalty. We have an awesome customer based in Australia called City Beach, who's leveraged this in a ton of different ways. You know, the beauty of them is really looking at this particularly to really reach customers anywhere. You know, they're looking at this again as unlocking that other channel to really think about connecting their digital and in-store experiences. Speaking of really unlocking those new use cases, when we think about that from a mobile wallet perspective, right, this is taking advantage of your mobile device functionality, such as geolocation, accessing your customer, you know, on that device, whether it's online or offline. It's always kind of having that always on and present device, really carrying it everywhere. Your phone is always at an arm's reach. And the mobile wallet is then, right, another channel that takes up a person's device screen and gives you more real estate to engage in the very specific right moment. And lastly, it's really deepening that engagement, dynamic personalization use cases, again, updating, you know, the status of loyalty, a voucher card, updating any type of information that you want to give within that loyalty wallet. So I think this is all going to be an amazing kind of unlocks, again, more use cases to really tap into that omni-channel strategy that we know is driving those higher margins and delivering kind of increased customer engagement. But it doesn't stop there with the launch. This really thinks about, you know, mobile wallet expands our entire suite of mobile capabilities that we have today, right? When we think about, you know, engaging with those customers anywhere, driving that loyalty and building those engagements, it's not just about mobile wallet. We also have functionality around mobile in-app and push, whether that's engaging with them in the mobile inbox, or even on SMS, really driving those contextually relevant SMS campaigns. And last but not least, we already have amazing functionality around mobile reporting. And this is critical when you want to track the revenue impact with those kind of pre-built performing reporting and attribution in place. So I'm super excited to bring all of this to life. There's more information that we'll be sharing. But I want to go ahead and hand it over to Nick Odom, who's really going to show us what all of this looks like from a product perspective So we're going to go ahead, Nick, I will hand it over to you, and let's show what this looks like, all of our mobile capabilities inside of the Emarsys platform today.
Thanks, Kelsey. As mentioned, I'm Nick, and I'm a solutions consultant based out of Indianapolis, Indiana, and today I'm going to demonstrate some of the key features that have been showcased in today's presentation. To kick us off, I'm going to jump into an email campaign, show you just how easy it is to incorporate a mobile wallet campaign inside of your email content. In this case, I've included a block to actually encourage people to download or add their loyalty pass to their mobile wallet with 2 images for Apple and Android. To add the pass, I'm going to go to Link, Personalization, and then I'm going to search for the pass that I've already pre-configured. So in this case, I'm going to look for my loyalty for Apple, click OK, and then I'm going to do the same thing for Google. Click OK, and then finish. And that's just how easy it is to include an already existing mobile wallet campaign inside of an email. Now, to actually build out your mobile wallet campaigns, under Channels, you'll find Mobile Wallet. Here you can actually configure your passes. So after you've actually gone through the wallet configuration, you're going to be able to actually build out unique campaigns that can be leveraged and distributed across your channels inside of Emarsys. So in this case, we want to look at a loyalty pass. And so when you're configuring a campaign, you're going to name the campaign. You're going to say which configuration you want it to be a part of. You're going to give it a brief description. And then you're going to determine what type of code you want to include in the pass. And so this is really going to be dependent on whatever type of system might be scanning the code and whatever type of code is compatible with that system. So in this case, we're going to use a QR code, but there's also a number of different other codes, or even no code at all if you're using a tabless system. And then we're going to say what the code value should be. So in this case, we're going to use a loyalty member ID number. But you can also incorporate any other number of personalization tokens, so think coupons or other types of IDs, customer IDs, can all be leveraged inside of the code type, or even a static value in this case. But in this case, we're going to use a loyalty member ID. And then we're going to define what type of content we want in here. So we're also going to leverage our personalization service to include the person's name and their loyalty status. And then we can preview this on both Android and Apple. With these little arrow buttons, we can actually open up the details so that we can see what is behind the pass if they click on the additional details. And then we can test these passes to see what it's going to actually look like and preview it for our different contacts. So in this case, we're going to see our test contact Sarah here. And the system's going to produce 2 unique QR codes that can be scanned on your personal device to see what it's going to look like if that particular person were to receive the pass. So even if you've got a device right now and you want to give it a shot, Apple up at the top, Google down at the bottom, it's actually going to go and download the pass for Sarah that you can actually see and preview on your personal phone. Now, continuing on the theme of mobile, I want to showcase our Mobile Engage product. So this has been a channel that's been around for quite a while at Emarsys, but it's been picking up a lot of steam in the last couple of years. Now, when you load our SDK on your app, we're actually going to give you a dashboard here that'll give you some really nice business intelligence right at your fingertips. So revenue attribution, total active monthly users, daily users, total number of installs, how many inactive users have come back to the app recently, and how our communications have been performing as well. In addition to this dashboard, you're going to have 3 key channels that you can communicate inside of the app. So we've got push messaging, in-app messaging, and inbox messaging. You can also load multiple apps into this. So if you've got multiple brands that you're running out of a single account, you can actually have multiple apps in here as well. And then we also have geolocation functionality in addition to this. So you can actually load in maybe a list of your retail stores, and then the system is going to be able to kind of geofence your app users and let you know if someone has actually tripped one of those geofences and trigger full-on automations based on the geolocations that are tracked in here. Now, to really show this off, I want to step into our automation programs and show you how mobile is actually incorporated into our interactions module. So in this use case, I want to showcase a very simple mobile onboarding. So we're going to look at a guest login. We're going to determine if this is the first time that they've been in the app. We're going to add them to an in-app experience, and then we're going to send them to a push communication if they haven't taken the action that we're looking for. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of different events that can be, synchronized with the application. So any of the events that have been defined within your mobile app will actually be able to be leveraged inside of here. So you can really start to do a lot of really interesting use cases based on the events that are coming in real time into the program. So in this case, we're going to be looking for guest logins. We're going to determine if this is the first time that we've seen this guest in the app. If it is, we're going to send them to an in-app experience. And then we're going to actually go and check another event happening inside the app to determine if they should get a push communication or not. So after an hour of inactivity, we're going to basically check to see if they've actually formally logged into the app and signed in. If they haven't signed in after an hour, then they're going to go through to this push communication. Now first I want to explore this in-app experience. I'm going to click Edit, go to Content. And here we can see the visual content editor around our in-app experience. And so in this case, we're doing a multi-step program where we want to first encourage them to enable push communications. And then after that, we want to encourage them to link or create their loyalty account. Now, part of this visual content editor might look familiar with our personalization service. So any personalization that's available in our other channels, you can also start to leverage here. You can style this as well, so any styling that you want to put into this is available so that we can make sure that this is an on-brand experience. And we also have multi-language support in here as well. Now back to our layout. There's a couple of key things in here that can make this a really engaging experience. So in this case, this first step, we want to encourage them to actually enable their notifications. So we can actually ask for them to request that push permission. But there's a lot of other different types of events or links that we can include as well. And then if I want to edit my second step, in this case, maybe we want to ask them to link their loyalty account or create an account if they haven't. I can go and edit the image here. I can edit the links. And in this case, I want to link my two separate buttons to a unique deep link inside of the app to drive them to a sign up or an account login page. Now going back to my automation, I want to show you how this looks in a push communication. So as I mentioned, if they haven't taken those steps and they haven't actually logged into the app after an hour, I'm going to go and send them a more formal push communication to get them back into the app. And similar to our other editors, the push communications also have full access to our personalization layer. So any of those attributes that we might want to leverage inside of email or in-app experiences or SMS that you might be used to, those again are fully available inside of the push module as well. You can define different type of tap actions, and you can actually have multiple buttons if needed. So in this case, maybe we want two separate deep links. Apply. And I can name these as well. We can see how this is going to look on both Android and Apple. And we can even do a contact preview if we have any personalization inside of here. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot of different events that can be coming in as well. So, defining the success of this particular automation isn't necessarily always revenue generated. So we want to actually look and see how many of those loyalty signups we've encouraged through our activity here with our onboarding program. And so with this, I'm actually looking at those loyalty signups, and I can actually start to see how many conversions we've had based on the activity that's been driven by Emarsys. So we can see our conversion rates over time. We can also see the impact, so we can see the total number of those events that have occurred along with the conversions. And then we can see which programs have actually been influencing this, and the average time it takes for a person to enter the program and then subsequently convert on this particular event. In addition to programs, we can actually drill down further into what particular content was actually driving this. And that can be both for email, in-app, SMS, in-app experiences, or push. And that's really how Emarsys has been innovating in the mobile space and the ways that we can empower marketers to start to do more with their mobile apps and mobile wallets and really start to build those omni-channel experiences that we all strive for. I really appreciate your guys' time today, and it was a pleasure to show you guys some of the key features that we're running as a part of our Power to the Marketer Festival. And until next time, thank you. My name's Nick, and I hope to talk to you guys soon.
Thank you, Nick. Really awesome to see how all these functionality again comes together, this entire suite of mobile, a lot of different channels that can really empower you to reach customers wherever they are. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about the future. We talked about what we have delivered over the last year. We talked about mobile wallet and all the functionality that we have available for you today. Now let's talk about where we're going and how we're building that product vision and that strategy. So,
Thanks, Kelsey.
When we looked at our messaging, this was really about, how are we building our product based on how all of that's coming down? It's really about our roadmap is aligned to those differentiators, right? It is industry tailored. We talked about being able to make sure that we are building capabilities and functionalities that are going to meet your unique business needs. It is about making sure that it is easy to connect all of those different data points and those channels wherever you are engaging with your customer. Third, we need to make sure it's insightful, right? When we're building the platform, you need the analytics at your fingertips to make quick, smart decisions that are going to drive real outcomes. And last but not least, right, we need to think about making sure that it's adaptive. We know that consumer expectations are changing all the time. Market needs are changing all the time. You need a solution that we are going to make sure that the infrastructure is built so that you can move with speed and agility. And what underpins all of this, it's not about just building a platform you can trust, as I mentioned earlier. It's about ensuring you have the right people in place to make sure that you are partnering with vendors that you can trust as well. So with that, Anthony, I'm going to hand it back to you. Talk to us a little bit about what's coming and what we can expect on the roadmap over the next year.
Yeah, thank you, Kelsey. And let's talk a little bit about some investments across some of these areas here. And the first one I want to talk to you about is D2C strategies and tactics. So strategies and tactics are a really big part of our platform. They're our way of helping you drastically accelerate time to value. Today, we have over 70 retail tactics that allow you to quickly deploy automation programs. And we've recently added more for consumer products direct to consumer. And these will help you regularly engage with your customers with post-purchase tactics such as product registration, warranty upsells, warranty expiration, or even product usage surveys. They'll also help you turn your customers into brand advocates and influencers with some of our user-generated content tactics. And there'll be more to come in this space as well as other industries. Now, when it comes to helping you connect with your customers, what we try to do is help you to we try to give you more channels and help you engage with them in other ways, in many ways, and ways that they prefer. And we're currently introducing conversational channels at Emarsys. Our first conversational channel will be WhatsApp, which we're currently piloting, and that is in partnership with Cinch. And this will allow you to engage on yet another channel that does not require you to have your own branded app, and allow you to deliver those one-to-one experiences with a guided conversation that feel even more personal. So as long as your customers have WhatsApp, you have their number, and you have their consent, which you obtained on another channel, then you are good to go. So how will this feel? So you'll be able to send out an initial message, and then with a few quick reply options, such as what you see here in the screenshot, like, oh, hey, you forgot something in your basket. What would you like to do? Take me there or forget about it. Or you might be qualifying for a new discount. Do you want to see it now or save it for later? Or maybe your package is just shipped. What would you like to do? See tracking information or change delivery instructions. So we will also be looking into further conversational channels in the future, such as Line, WeChat, Facebook Messenger, Telegram, and more. Now, another way that we are investing and connecting across the entire experience is with our focus on streamlining and unifying content creation at Emarsys. Marketers strive to deliver consistent omni-channel experiences, and we want to give marketers unified, no-code, low-code experiences to make that happen. And our new content creation tool, Omnichannel Content Blocks, will allow marketers and content designers to create reusable cross-channel assets in one place. For example, let's say you want to create an overlay and you want to use that across many channels. You may want an image in there and some text and a call to action. With omni-channel content blocks, you would create this in one place, and then the marketer could easily pull in that content block into the channels of their choice and then fine-tune it for the channel-specific details. So we've recently started piloting this with Web Channel, and we'll soon introduce this in in-app and email. So less time creating content and more time empowering the marketer with a unified workflow and reusable content. Now, when it comes to connecting across the entire experience for B2B and B2B2C business models and use cases, that requires the right data and the right data models. And that's where account engagement comes in. So we've recently released the first version that integrates with SAP Sales Cloud and brings in that data you need, like the account information, contact information, sales rep, permissions, and more. And our integrations to SAP Commerce Cloud bring in more account information as well as commerce events. All of this data becomes available for your omni-channel B2B marketing and allows you to better engage with your accounts. Now, account engagement also helps unlock the potential of collaborative campaign scenarios between marketing and sales. Picture a marketer who creates an email with personalized account attributes, including the sales rep, but being able to trigger a review process and collaborate with the sales rep on optimizing the campaign and its participation before it goes out. And this will ultimately lead to better outcomes. And the accompanying tactics we deliver and features such as lead generation will allow you to accelerate time to value and also generate higher quality leads for sales. But what we have up next in this space is a native account object in Emarsys with an open API. Now, what that will allow you to do is bring in your own firmographic data from any of the existing sales systems you might have connected and use that for follow-up processing, personalization, and marketing. So all of this to help you drive profitable B2B commerce and sales interactions with personalized account-based marketing engagements. Now, when it comes to making insightful decisions, what might come to mind today is generative AI. And you might be wondering what we are doing in this space. Well, we are actively prototyping several scenarios based on your customer feedback. And we are trying to see how to best use this technology to support marketers and envision how they might work in the future, while keeping privacy concerns in mind. So we're currently prototyping a digital assistant that will use the large amount of Emarsys data you have in your system to generate insights on marketing performance and operations in a matter of seconds. For instance, think of some analytical scenarios and visual analytical scenarios where you might be looking for something like, hey, show me our web session revenue for the last 6 months. And you'd be presented with a chart. And the context will keep going for the next question, like, please overlay the last 6 months of first-time buyers revenue. And the chart will update. So we're really excited to hear your feedback about this type of use case, as well as see what other possibilities this exciting technology will bring to our marketers. Now, another way we've been helping you with generating insights is with our breadth of analytical apps. We continue investing and innovating here and up-leveling our capabilities. One example would be audience reporting, which is currently wrapping up its pilot phase. This looks beyond channel and rather focuses on segments and allowing you to better compare segments side by side. For example, what is the overlap between segment A and segment B? What is the revenue generated over time per segment? What about the engagement rates per segment or most popular category per segment? And what are the highest performing campaigns targeting each of these segments? But we are also piloting other omni-channel reporting capabilities based on your feedback. We hear you. You want more trend reporting. You want more omni-channel evaluation capabilities. You want campaign reporting by segment. And we're piloting all that in one app, so stay tuned. Now, last but not least, allowing you to adapt with speed and agility. We know the MarTech space has exploded in the last few years. Several channels, several new best-of-breed solutions in key segments, some of which you might be using today for key scenarios. Our powerful APIs allow our partners to build against the marketing our marketing platform, to meet your omni-channel needs. And our partnerships allow you to scale with a composable platform that helps you deliver differentiated experiences wherever your customers engage. Our work with vetted technology partners deliver on tons of use cases, from acquisition to loyalty, from data to content, with clickable connectors and other key integrations. So we're really happy to see our ecosystem grow so quickly and see how it can help you deliver on those differentiated experiences. So that's all I have in terms of upcoming innovations. Thank you, and back to you, Kelsey.
Awesome. Thanks, Anthony. Based on all the interactions, the hearts, the thumbs up, the clapping, I think I can say that people are excited about what's to come and where we're going. And as Anthony has said, a lot of these things are in pilot today. So let's make sure we're getting your feedback and implementing all of that. So with that, just to kind of wrap up where we're going and what you have, we went through a lot of new functionality today, stuff that's that we've built over the last last year, and also what's coming. Many of the functionality we've been talking about is even coming up in our July release, which is just around the corner. So you can learn more about what we talked about today, including mobile wallet, by going to our product release page. This is where you can, again, find more information about what we talked about today, but also what's going to be coming soon. We also have a link on there to our externally facing product roadmap, so you are always in the know on what is coming with our upcoming cycles. And then last but not least, on the right, you're going to also see our Product Pioneer program. If you are an existing customer on the line and you have a login to Emarsys and you want to participate in any of these piloting programs, we welcome your feedback. Feel free to log into your account there through our Emarsys platform, our training platform. And you can really kind of geek out on some of the product as becoming a product pioneer. It's really a chance to connect directly with our product team, share ideas, and really meet other Emarsys customers and understand some of the use cases for some of this upcoming functionality. Now, with that, I want to thank you all for spending time with us today. We covered a lot of information. Feel free to reach out to myself, Anthony, or Nick on LinkedIn.